This is the G Podcast with your host, Tommy B.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 323 of This is the G Podcast. I'm outside. Yeah, you probably can see that. When you hear the episode, you'll understand why. But we are your weekly recap podcast with news, politics, pop culture, and the tea with Tonya B. This week, Syracuse Mike will catch you up on the news and politics, while Tonya B and I will take a look at the lighter side. We'll recap last week's talk with actress Cynda Williams. Tonya B gives insight into the Lionel Richie Earth, Wind & Fire concert scare, and Morgan Freeman talks about getting paid as he approaches 90. Wow, 90 years old. Also, last thing, Keke Palmer is the new host of The Voice. We'll talk about that. We'll get into it right after Syracuse Mike.
News team, assemble!
It's time for the Week in News with Syracuse Mike.
President Trump says upcoming U.S.-Iran talks are Iran's last chance to reach a deal and avoid renewed U.S. military strikes.
I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. Very tough to do what we have planned, still planned. We'll see what happens.
The president says negotiations are expected to focus on reopening the Strait of Hormuz and concerns over Iran's nuclear program. The talks come after Mr. Trump said he called off planned strikes against Iran following appeals from Gulf allies. It's certainly not the first time he has backed away from planned action against Iran. The Georgia NAACP is launching a $20 million voter mobilization campaign to register and turn out black voters across the state. This is happening while a new legislative committee begins work on selecting a replacement for Georgia's current voting system. Lawmakers voted to phase out QR code ballot tabulation, and the panel will recommend new statewide election equipment as officials stress both election security and voter participation. The Georgia NAACP also wants to get volunteers to monitor polling places around the state this fall. In sports, the Falcons have locked up Bijan Robinson with a 3-year extension worth up to $75 million, making him the highest-paid running back in NFL history. But Atlanta also got bad news Tuesday as rookie Jalen Walker was carted off the practice field with a suspected torn ACL that could end his season. Abdul El Sayed is now the declared winner of the critical Michigan U.S. Senate primary. He beat moderate Congresswoman Haley Stevens. El Sayed thanked supporters Wednesday.
To everybody who put their shoulders into the work, anybody who made a contribution, who knocked on a door, who made a phone call, who put yourself into this democracy, who gave us your stake in democracy, this movement, this moment is for you. And I just can't say how grateful I am to have earned the votes that we got.
El Sayed beat Stevens by about 1 point, much closer than expected. Some moderate Democrats have expressed concern that a progressive candidate in Michigan may have a harder time beating a Republican in the fall. Michigan is considered a must-win state if Democrats want to control the Senate. 3 people are facing federal charges for allegedly making threats tied to the investigation into the death of 18-year-old Nolan Wells in Mississippi. Prosecutors say the threats targeted a judge, a witness, and local officials involved in the case. Wells disappeared after a July 4th boat trip with friends on an island off the Gulf Coast. His body was found 2 days later, and an independent autopsy listed the cause of death as undetermined. No arrests have been made in Wells' death. President Trump has signed 2 executive orders aimed at restricting birthright citizenship and ending what's known as birth tourism. Basically, if you're born in the U.S., you are a citizen of this country. The White House says the orders expand who may be considered ineligible for automatic citizenship and deny visas to people traveling to the U.S. just to give birth. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller explains one of the orders is designed
to expand the definitions of people who are ineligible for birthright citizenship. That includes, for example, alien enemies of the United States, members of foreign terrorist organizations, and large categories of people who lobby and act on behalf of foreign governments.
The new approach by the White House follows a Supreme Court ruling that blocked Mr. Trump's earlier birthright citizenship order. Legal challenges are expected. The Senate Homeland Security Committee has voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress after he invoked the Fifth Amendment and declined to answer questions during testimony on the origins of COVID-19. The Republican-led panel approved the measure 8-5, with all Democrats voting against it. Committee Chairman Rand Paul says he'll send the contempt referral directly to the Justice Department rather than seek a full Senate vote. A New Mexico judge has ordered Meta to pay another $567 million to address harm to children from Facebook and Instagram. The money will be used to fund youth treatment and prevention programs. The judge also noted that teenagers are susceptible to features that are designed to boost engagement, such as autoplay, infinite scrolling, push notifications, and more. The ruling follows a $375 million civil penalty imposed earlier this year, bringing Meta's total liability to $942 million. The company says it plans to appeal.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 323 of This is the G Podcast. Y'all know what time it is. But I'm going to hold off. I'm going to hold off before we get totally into the tea. What's up, Tonya B? How you doing?
Hey, I'm hanging in there. You know, we're surviving the rain, the monsoons, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, the fires, you name it.
Well, you know, it's crazy here because, you know, I do the grass, right? I still like doing my grass because it's a workout, okay? So it rains so much, you got to cut, like, I mean, even once a week. You just can't. When it's normally dry and it's not raining, then it grows slower. But when it's raining like it's raining here every night, almost, you're going to get some rain somewhere. Am I right?
You're right. And for the next week, we're going to get rain every day.
Every day, it's like the grass, man. It's greener, but damn, standing up, my feet are feeling it. Because I'm gonna be like you. I'm gonna be sitting at a table.
Okay, yeah. People, I've been to Shay, Tommy B, and Lady J, and there is enough room in your front yard and your backyard to put up another house. So
that's compared to downtown. That's
you are
compared
getting
to downtown.
Workout.
I have always, grew up on the south side, away in the burbs, away from downtown. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot. Nah, I mean, not the yard I grew up in. That's a different story. I'll leave that alone because when Daddy got stepdad got a riding lawnmower after I left, but he didn't get that riding lawnmower while I was there. I was the lawnmower.
But you were the lawnmower, the TV remote, all of those things. Yeah.
Go cut the grass. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How much I'm getting? Room and board.
But thank you. Oh, you eat here? That's what you're getting.
Exactly. Hey, but real quick, last week, Tonya B, before we get into the tea, man, I do want to bring up Cynda Williams, the appearance, the interview. Good feedback. Really good feedback from folks about the interview. I want to again thank her, Cynda, for coming on. She didn't have to, she's got her own thing going, but she jumped on with us. And it's interesting because I was sitting here, setting up for the show today, and Spike's doing a round of interviews and press on 40 years of Spike Lee. So it's really relevant that she's out there and some other actors who were involved in the Spike Lee revolution is what I call it, because a lot of the movies are being, the spotlight's on a lot of the movies.
Go
ahead.
Well, my takeaway from it was I learned so much about her that I didn't know. And I think a lot of people didn't know that although she may not have been front and center from day one, she's still been working the entire time.
Yeah.
And doing a lot of things behind the scenes. So don't think just because you don't see somebody front and center that they're not doing things or making moves. I learned a lot about her I didn't know. She has a lot of skills that we didn't know about. She is and always has been an underrated, accomplished vocalist. And I just say, don't count her out. I really have a newfound respect for her because as much as I did research and preparing for this, I still learn, everything's not in writing and on paper. I just learned so much more about her. And I would just say, she's one of those quiet giants that's making noise and it's shaking the table. We just don't know it's her that's doing it.
Yeah, and I really do think, there's so many opportunities right now than there were in the beginning of her career. When you look at streaming, you look at all the different networks. I'm not saying do Tubi, but, if you get the right to, because, I saw, what's his name, from the Best Man.
Tay Diggs?
I saw, Tay Diggs is doing Tubi movies.
You know what?
Vanessa, what's her name? Fox Vivica Fox.
This take any content you got. I mean, and you know what?
Lifetime.
As much as I'm not a fan of Tubi and its ownership, and we have to look at the opportunities, and even people like Cynda Williams that they have now to place their content somewhere. Because unless you were a major blockbuster actor in the 90s, like a Will Smith, people along that line, you didn't get visibility. So now you move to this generation. If things had stayed the way they were, would we really have gotten to know a Michael B. Jordan or Mahershala Ali, or even a Halle Berry and the other actors that have won these major awards? Is there a place for them? And the answer is more than likely, not really.
Yeah, but it's a wild. I don't want to call it the wild west, but I mean that in a positive way. So many opportunities for independent filmmakers right now to do their own thing and distribute their own thing. Even when you look at YouTube, I mean, there are just so many spaces where for us, for black filmmakers or for black actors and actresses, that I hope to see her soon. I mean, even when it comes down to if she decides, hey, I don't really want to do the mainstream thing, she can do not necessarily Lifetime, but you can do Hallmark.
She's got
a lot
her
of folks,
own.
She wants something kindler and gentler.
She's got her own body of work. You just have to go into the IMDb or just Google her. You'd be surprised. She's got some movies, short films that she's produced. So, and I say to people, also when you see things coming down for like the Bronze Film Festival or, the Atlanta Film Festival or the Miami Film Festival, that's where your real content is. You can find the creators there, people that may not have these mainstream names. And I can look at somebody like Kevin Hart, who, has, and even Tyler Perry that has these deals with, Netflix and Prime and things along that line. If you look at when Tyler Perry came out to where he is now, every play he had was not a movie, but now it is. Yeah. So they have spaces for these creators now, which I think is good. I don't think this new Kevin Hart movie, 72 hours.
Ugh.
I'm saying it would. I know I haven't watched it.
Why? Let me stop you there. And you could jump back in, but here's my thing, dude. Stop making bad movies, please.
That's the thing. Just don't give everybody.
Come on.
No, don't give them carte blanche, because if you make a few bad movies, Kevin Hart, it's going to make it that much more difficult for the next person coming behind you who has better content to get the green light. And just I'm just saying,
I look at, when it comes down to it, when you burn me once, I'll give you another chance. You burn me twice, I'm going to watch a little bit. 3 or 4 times, I'm done with you.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? And my whole point is, stop making bad movies, dude. Put a little bit more effort into your script. Put a little bit more effort into your casting. You got the money. Stop making bad movies, man. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Now I'm not saying. Let me say this. I think people do give. Tyler Perry's made some good movies between some of the bad ones that y'all have talked about.
Yeah.
It's just, I think for a lot of people, and what I'm seeing, it's a demographic thing. I think younger African Americans don't like Tyler Perry. It shows in the blogs. Okay,
but your mom and them do.
They do, and a lot of it has to do with the plays. I think Tyler gets more grace from the older generation, and some of the older generation stuff does not appeal to. Let's face it, it doesn't appeal to the younger generation stuff. So my whole point is, he's going to do what he does for his audience that he knows he can capture. Kevin is on a slide. I just don't know. I mean, this recent movie is just like, it's indescribable, but I'll leave it at that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Is it worth the Night School?
Well, Night School was maybe good Kevin Hart, better Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, there's been worse since Night School.
This true. And you know what? He may be at the end of his deal, and if these last few movies don't perform, they're not going to renew him. They're going to go find somebody else.
Well, I mean, I don't have anything against him. I always hope black filmmakers and directors do well, man. But dude, stop making these bad.
Oh, but
stupid.
Oh, he did too much.
Crazy premises.
He laid off all the people from production company they were bleeding money. So it was too much too soon. And I don't know if he was trying to push out content too soon, but it has backfired professionally and financially. And that is not a good sign.
Well, maybe it's me, but if you have,
not.
I would love, go to, I don't get many, people rather just hit me up, call me if they know me and say, hey man, you were right. Dude, go to castropolis.net. just leave if you agree or disagree. If you disagree with me, just disagree, and I'm not gonna clown you. I don't do that. I mean, I just want to hear. I don't live in a vacuum.
No,
I want to hear what you have to
say.
say.
Tommy B, it's a personal preference. I never found Cat Williams, Kevin Hart funny. Mike Epps borderline. The best thing any of them ever did was The House Husbands, and I think that had even run its course. Just let it go. And I'd rather go back and watch reruns of The House Husbands of Hollywood than see some of this crap that's out here now.
Yeah. Well, I will say this about Cat. Cat is, in my opinion, his performance depends on who's directing, because he was funny as hell. Like in Atlanta, the Donald Glover, the Glover series that was on Fox on FX.
Atlanta?
Yeah, he was in that. He played, his character was called the Alligator Man.
He's a character actor, though.
As a character actor in a good movie, directed well, Cat Williams is on fire. Okay, but yeah, some of the stuff it kind of goes off the rail, and maybe the great directors know what to cut and what to keep. I'll leave it at that. What else you got, Tonya B? We're gonna go ahead. You ready for tea? You ready to jump in? All right, let's go ahead and do it.
Now then, children, it's time for tea.
It's tea time, y'all. Sipping the tea with Tonya B.
All right, all the preliminary teas out of the way. What you got in the court?
I want to say
the real
everybody
tea?
knows about, it's interesting, this sing-a-song all night long tour with Earth, Wind, and Fire and Lionel Richie. A few weeks ago, he had his medical issue. But last night, it was a Thursday night, people were in their seats, arena, Chase Center, packed. Show canceled at the last minute. And what happened, if you saw it, initially it came out that member of Earth, Wind, and Fire suffers medical emergency. So you immediately think, oop, Ralph Johnson, oop, Birdine White, oop, Philip Bailey. No. Anyway, what had happened is they have a longtime drummer and actually one of Birdine's business partners. And I want to say just prayers up to the family and fans and just anybody who knows John Parris. He's been their drummer for quite a while. Dude's not, he's not an old man, but he has some health issues. And it's hard when you're out there on that tour like this. They work consistently, TV. You're in different time zones, different countries. You got different food, different everything. You don't really know what you're eating all the time. You're eating on the run. And he has some severe issues with hypertension. But right before the concert, he suffered a massive heart attack. He's still in San Francisco, still in ICU. And I want to just say shame on you to that person who I know, but I'm not going to put them on Front Street, who went on Facebook and said that John Parris had passed away. Well, he's in rough shape. He probably can't tour anymore, but he is still with us. So I just say, prayers up to him. And he's got a family. You may remember there was a 90s girl group called Lace, had a song called My Love Is Deep.
Yeah.
His wife is one of the members of that former group, Lace.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. So just, again, and when we were talking about this, what expectation do we have with artists when they get to a certain stage in life and they still want to perform? And I'll just say this, Tommy B. Sometimes you have to know when to sit down. And the reason why I say this is because you've got people like Barry Manilow. They cut your lung out. You can't sing. So stop lip syncing and taking people's money. You look at Frankie Valli, it looks like he doesn't know where he is. He's surrounded by 20-year-olds, and they got the lip syncing track going. He's got the mic down to the floor. We hear what
bad. Let me tell you, I'm gonna stop you right there and keep going, but I do want to stop on the Frankie Valli. Frankie Valli is the worst, I think, of all these because, and I'm not trying to, he's an older man. He's older. And it's kind of like he's holding the mic. He's not even holding the mic up to his mouth. He's holding it like share, and they'll hold, and then he'll go.
You got the 20-year-olds behind him.
Yeah, they're getting it down. They're getting off, and then Frankie's just kind of standing there, and it's just
it's painful to watch.
It's painful. It's like ventriloquism. to a certain extent. The way they know to give him the mic, it's just like, it's the worst to watch out of all these, But go ahead. I mean, I know you said, Barry Manilow.
Frankie Beverly was out there too long. Roy Ayers was out there too long. And then, of course, we had this debacle this week with Martha Reeves, the Motown legend.
Oh, my God.
The national anthem is one of the most difficult songs there is to sing, and everybody can't do it. And now we've got the sit-down tour. And the sit-down tour, which is going to be in the ATL in 2 weeks, is Ron Isley, who's 85, Eddie LaBerge, who's 84, and they sit down all the time. And sometimes you need to go sit down, but in your own house. So
have you seen the clip with Lionel Richie when he's doing All Night Long, and he goes over and sits down, and he said, "I think this might be the first time in history that I've sat down on All Night Long, but I gotta sit." He said, "But I gotta sit down, y'all." And he had to. He sat down, took a breather. They bought him a drink out, and he finished the song. But yeah,
those 80s. You look at Gladys Knight on the Queen tour, Gladys Knight, and you wonder, is it ego where this is all you can do to make money, or is it your family pushing you out there because you're the cash cow and they are too selfish?
I'm cool. Hey, go as long as you can. Okay, it's up to you. It's up to your fan base. If your fan base wants to see you, for people who, let's say you and I, we've been in the business for a while, and we've seen these people at their peak, we don't want to go because we've seen them so much better. For a lot of people, I think, Tonya B, they just want the experience because they've never had it. Does that make sense? They just want to experience it because just to say they went.
You want to have a good experience. And maybe we're dating because we've seen them, over the last 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
But,
and I think I said this before. I mean, I've seen the All in All tour where the levitating bass, where, what's his name? Verdine because it's Maurice. But Verdine is, and I've seen all that. And so for me, I will still go to an Earth, Wind and Fire show because technically it still sounds good. Philip can still sing,
Dude in a box.
Not the dude in a box. But go ahead. What you got next?
Okay, let's talk about Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman.
Speaking of 80-something, but
Morgan Freeman, he's kind of winding down just like Danny Glover is.
Yeah.
Just talking about, the things he's done over the years in Hollywood. He will be 90 years old very soon.
Damn.
And,
So you telling me he was in his 30s doing Electric Company?
Sesame Street. Wait, that's when I was growing up back in Boston.
Easy reader.
Okay. So,
Come on, wait a minute, Tonya B. Chip. Ip. Chip.
I can't.
You remember? Come on now.
Help me, Holy Ghost. Okay.
True.
But one thing I'll say about Morgan Freeman, you've got to give him, 5 on it for being honest, And as he said, as long as the phone rings, he'll keep working. But again, whether you're singing, acting, whatever it is, you just have to know when to stop and sit down. He's making the boss move. You can't be mad at him.
He probably comes in and says, "Hey, I can't say that Morgan Freeman's the way he does it, but he'll come in and say, hello, the script sucks, but if you pay me about $3 more million, I'll do the movie."
Right, and let me change the few. Let me just speak
another
up. About
$5 more million. I'll do it.
He's not
with no changes.
No, but he's not going to jeopardize his reputation in the business.
No, he's not. It's about the money. It's about the money.
It's good when you have enough and you can walk away and say no. A lot of people can't do that. Not now.
I'm just wondering if he's just bored. He doesn't want to be a bored, sitting on the sideline entertainer.
Do more commercials.
You know what? The commercial he did with the girl from the new Handmaiden, it's kind of creepy. Where he's sitting in the car, I'm not sure what brand that is, but it's just kind of that kind of creeped me out. But okay, cool. I was like, okay, cool. All right, Morgan Freeman sitting next to the 20-something-year-old girl. All right, cool. All right, go ahead.
Ooh, I'm trying not to have a visual. One thing I want to say is, we got to say 5 to Jafar Jackson. He did a great job of portraying his uncle Michael Jackson. But, that's something that was very close to him. So inquiring minds want to know, what else can he do? Well, he's teaming up with Will Smith, who is changing his look. Now, that's going to make a difference. I don't know. Will Smith is going bald. The two will be starring in a movie called Supermax, an action thriller. So I think this will really make or break what people really think of Jafar Jackson.
You think it's going to make a break with this one?
Well, I'm saying he did what he came out the box and he smashed it. But again, you were portraying a family member. You're portraying somebody that you're around. Most people, like Sissy Spacek, did not grow up with Loretta Lynn. Yeah, she shadowed her for a year. But I guess this will tell if he really has the acting chops that we hope he has.
And I think so much is at stake for Will with every project he takes on. I'll be honest, I think Will is going to make sure everything goes well, because really he's kind of clawing his way back in. So, I'm excited. I still like Will Smith as an actor. I still do. I think he still really gets into his characters more so than a lot of people who just kind of read the scripts and flow. Depending on like Morgan Freeman, depending on how much they get paid.
Give me the money. Show me the money.
But Will is when it comes down to box office, I still think there's some box office left in Will.
Yeah, he's made more money as an actor than he ever made as a rapper.
Oh,
yeah,
exactly. I mean, I think people forget how big. How big Independence Day was then and still is. Even when he bombed with the Wild Wild West, I mean, it still won the box office.
We forgave him.
Yeah.
And I mean,
it still did well. It did well at the box office. Yeah.
There are still some episodes of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air that I will still watch. Especially my favorites, like the one with Belle Biv DeVoe. I will still watch them. So
yeah, I got you.
Okay,
so you think? I mean, really, before you think Jafar can make it happen with Will? I think he can.
The jury is still out.
If Will drives the movie, and he's just around Will, we'll see. I think it'll be okay.
That's it. We'll see. Okay. Now let's talk about Michael B. Jordan. I remember this movie, The Thomas Crown Affair, was out when I was a kid. I heard my mother talking about it. Then it was remade with Rene Russo and Pierce Brosnan, and now it's coming back to Amazon with Michael B. Jordan. Mm-hmm. He's also one who is, he won't be in front of the camera forever. He's doing directing and things along that line. He's working behind the camera. So mark your camera. Good Lord, help me, Jesus. Mark your calendar. Yeah. March 2027. Michael B. Jordan, The Thomas Crown Affair on Amazon. And
I can't wait. I like Michael B.
Yeah. I just want to divert. I just want to take a little diverse step for a second. Now, when movies would come out, it was always about the movie critic. And, Siskel and Ebert are gone. They were the main ones that we always knew about. But now, do you think, and just think about this, and maybe people can jump into the people poll or call in. Do you think that movie critics are out of style? And the reason why I say this is because a lot of these movie film companies are using influencers and paying them a lot less money to talk about their movies or their TV projects. And for so long, a lot of movies that, were even classic to us, like let's just take House Party for example, or even a Spike Lee movie. They would pan it, hands down. But, they were seen as too rigid, too stubborn, and just too out of touch with no sense of humor. We can sit down today and still crack up at House Party. They would not understand it because it's not of their culture. If there was a movie like us, they may not have understood Schindler's List or the Joy Luck Club. That was a different culture. And they would pan these movies. And I think everything runs its course. And, people don't even listen to critics anymore if you think about it.
Well, really my opinion, I still think it's important, but I think what Rotten Tomatoes does is more important because they show the critic score and the audience score.
The people score.
And I think more people pay attention to the audience score now than they do to the critic score, which I think if you show both and then you go, you can read down. And I get a good handle on, because I've been doing it for a long time. Mm-hmm. I mean, I used to do reviews back in college, and after I graduated, I did print, I wrote reviews. And you can tell the critics who get the junkets. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You can tell the ones who go on the trips, who, I'm not saying, well, you know what I'm saying. They buy them. They kind of wine and dine them. So when they come back and, they're so close to the movie that they're not going to, give it an F if it's an F movie. But I do think the crowd scores matter for a lot of people more than the traditional critics. So with that note, I don't think it should go away. I think it needs to be there because people like to compare, okay, I didn't really like this movie, but let me see what other people are saying about it. I think it does give people maybe a different perspective on certain movies. I mean, I'll be honest, just like I saw, and I did the review on Is God Is with Vivica Fox and two young ladies who were newcomers and Sterling K. Brown. I loved it. I mean, I really loved that. I thought it was a great movie. I don't think it got the exposure. But you could look at, the reviews and tell this was an excellent movie, but you could also compare the reviews because there weren't many of them.
That too, yeah. People don't see it.
We're talking, Spider-Man went over $1 billion in, 7 days?
But what else is out there right now? What else is out there?
But still, it shows people have an idea of what they want. And if you give them what they want, they'll come out. And they came out. I mean, Spider-Man, that whole vibe. Because let me tell you, Tonya B, the whole thing was superhero. Because of what happened, Supergirl was a flop. A big flop. $100 million flop.
When they did it in 84, it was a flop.
Well, my whole point is, when you do a movie like that, you can't just say, well, everybody is fatigued on superheroes. And lo and behold, 2 weeks later, you got Spider-Man breaking records. I mean, big records, not just superhero records. So, give the people what they want, and they'll come out. And I hate to say it. I mean, it's bad, but you've got to spend more money. Here's my thing, and I want your opinion on this. If I've got all this big budget, massive budget, I know what they want, okay? But you come out and you allow people, directors, producers, to kind of do their own thing that goes against the formula of what's working, then you had a chance to stop it, okay? The guy who is overseeing DC Comics used to be at Marvel, okay? He did Guardians of the Galaxy. His name is not at the top of my mind. It doesn't matter to y'all.
It's okay.
But I will say this. He should have been closer to what was going on behind the scenes with that movie instead of just greenlighting it, because he did it with Guardians of the Galaxy. He knew what the formula was to make it work. When you saw that the formula was off, because there were whispers behind the scenes that this movie is not going to work. And also, unfortunately, I hate to say it, I mean, the women superhero movies are not doing well.
No, but also times change in that audience. That's probably moved on. So those people that went to the movies to see either Guardians of the Galaxy,
it did well throughout the franchise.
They might be on a fixed income. They might not be here anymore. They might have other responsibilities. And let's keep it real. Going to the movies is expensive. And that's why so many people wait until it comes on streaming or a platform like, wait till Michael Jackson comes on Amazon Prime.
Well, all I can say is when I go to the movies, I understand why the Nigerian guy bought in a pot of chili. And
did he pass it out or sell it?
He had a crew of kids with him. He was serving chili on the aisle because $50 for like a couple of things of popcorn and some Slurpee. Come on, y'all. Come on. I know. Now, I know in my audience, I know in this audience, people go in there with backpacks and the big bags full of snacks.
Let me tell you
$50.
Let's see. Maybe
I would say groceries, but groceries are so high now. But damn, $50. You're just paying $50 for a couple of popcorns and a couple of drinks.
Even the kids' price is expensive. I went to see Color Purple when it came out. What was it? 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
I got a small popcorn, a drink, and some M&Ms, and that was $26.
Oh, that was a bargain.
Exactly. So if you have 3 to 4 kids, and
That
kids,
was
they don't
back
like
then.
that. Kids don't want to share their drinks or their popcorn or their candy. They want their own.
Yeah.
They have no
so true.
concept of what it costs. So if you have 3 kids and you go to the movie, you're spending $100 minimum.
Yeah, I agree.
Minimum.
It's crazy. It's crazy. The snacks are crazy.
Yeah,
It's just
they
ridiculous.
cost more than movie tickets.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, absolutely. They get you in there, but they're going to make, well, ticket prices are flat to down, but concessions aren't. No way. It's crazy.
And what
the popcorn's stale, but good. That's, yeah.
What they're doing now is with these movies, they have these, the premiums that come with them. And I saw I forgot what movie it was, something with a dinosaur, and it held the popcorn. And that thing was $70.
Yeah. The new ones are coming
whoever
out.
has the money to pay for it, God bless them. Not happening in my house.
Yeah, so true.
Okay,
so hey, one other thing. You got anything else?
Yeah,
go ahead.
we got to talk about Keke Job Palmer. Keke Palmer, she has so many jobs, we cannot keep up with her. I am really almost in awe of how she has really gone from a child star to really a media mogul. She's TV, she's movies, she's streaming, she's podcasts. She's kind of like Miss Do-It-All. And I think she is going to bring a much needed, I think she's taking The Voice off of life support, even though she's doing the celebrity edition of The Voice. And it'll be interesting to see these celebrities and these athletes and these people from Hollywood and even the reality stars and influencers who think they can sing get up there in front of Latifah, Rodney Green, and Kelly Clarkson and really try to, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be almost like a gong show, I think, because know that they need the money or the prize. But I think they're doing this because, number one, like I said, the show's on life support. Number two, they have run out of all these base model singers that they keep restricted. That's why I call them base model, because they restrict you as to what you can do, even if you don't win the show after you're gone from the show. And name me one star The Voice has ever produced. Crickets.
Yeah.
So they need a Keke Palmer. I'm telling you, they need it. Now Carson Daly's not leaving the show completely because he's not going to leave that $6 million paycheck. Okay?
But let me ask you, Tonya B, have you ever seen the appeal of Carson Daly?
No, because I never watched TRL. The only time I see Carson Daly,
dude is
honestly,
just flat. I think it's more because the generation who grew up with him on TRL liked him because of that. But if you didn't watch TRL, it's hard to get his appeal because he's so flat.
And not only that, see, back then he was a cute guy. He got by on his looks. Let's just call a thing a thing. And back then, when TRL was on, looks was still the thing. Because now you see him on the Today Show. Those TRL fans may watch him on the Today Show. Now he's a father with 4 kids and a wife, and he's still got to support. That's a lot to support when you live in that LA, that entertainment lifestyle. $6 million doesn't really go as far as people think it does. So he's got to keep working because his wife, she got home like cooking and making cookbooks, and nobody in the buy no doggone cookbook. But I'm just saying, he never kind of, to me, like Ryan Seacrest. There were some MCs of different shows or game shows or just where and as much as I'm not a real big Steve Harvey fan, I think he does bring some element of life to Family Feud
because he has the one-liners.
He's got the joke.
He has the perfect response to stupid people.
Yeah.
He knows how to respond. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But I think that element Carson Daly lacked, and I think that she's quick.
She's quick. Well, so I like Keke. She's good. She's got the show on Peacock, Neighbors. That thing is working. It was renewed. So she's going to continue to do that. I just with The Voice has always had a better panel. The panel has been more compelling than the singers to me. Because when you look at The Voice UK with Tom Jones and Jennifer J. Hud would be on.
It's a whole different vibe.
It's a whole different vibe because the judges are so good, and the judges wind up performing sometimes. I think that's what's made the show interesting to me. But I don't know how much. I mean, candidly, I don't know how much she can do to save The Voice because even when you look at American Idol used to be when American Idol debuted, everybody watched. Now, sometimes you don't even know it's on. I think most people who used to watch it when it was in its heyday aren't watching anymore.
Oh,
so
but
I think that the whole thing of the talent show
gone.
is starting. That era, it's burned. I mean, I think America's Got Talent still, but it still has a vibe because it's more than just a singing show.
Right.
You get a little bit of everything.
No, but the other thing about
I think that's going to do well.
When you look at all of these shows, even America's Got Talent and The Voice, and the one they had X Factor, then they had the 1, the 4, they're not producing stars. If you think about it,
I agree.
Name
It's
the
tough.
last person who won American Idol that's top of mind at this moment.
But here's the thing, Tonya B. You think about it, the genre, the generation we're in, they're not really singing to that generation, the new generation. When you're doing Disney songs for the week, this week we're going to celebrate. I get that, but it's more okay. If I want to be on Broadway, if I'm part of American Idol and I want to be on Broadway, then that may be the place for you. But if you want to be on radio, if you want to get played, because you're not singing the stuff that the kids are listening to, because candidly, ultimately, it's going to come down to the younger generation to drive it. And
let's take it a step further.
But see, back then, like, what's her name? When you had Kelly Clarkson, her music that she was singing was actually that style.
It was appropriate for the time.
It was
let me say
times.
this. You talked about the younger generation.
And they're not going to do, hip hop.
No,
even though we had our conversation about hip hop too. Yeah.
If you look at the judges. If you add up the age of Luke Bryan, Lionel Richie, and even Carrie Underwood, whoever is there, whoever, I don't even know who's there anymore because I don't watch it. You're talking about almost dinosaurs. Those people who are judges on some of these shows are not even relevant.
Yeah.
Lionel Richie's up here trying to get through all night long without falling out, but he ain't putting out new music.
Yeah.
Well,
again, I mean, the reason these kids don't blow up is because it's a different day. There's a different perspective on how the audience views their music. I'll give you an example. I got Gen Zs and Gen Xers around me. Tyler, the Creator, is considered part of their mainstream. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when you look at the list of artists that may be like or within or close to that kind of genre, American Idol is corny. So yeah, but what I'm saying is it's not even close to when it started. Now it's not even close. The music that people are truly listening to on their own playlist, because that's where they are, and this is a good time to kind of ease into the conversation we were having about radio. Yeah. I'm not the guy who's out there saying radio's dead, because it's still going to be there. It's still relevant.
Not going anywhere.
It's just relevant to an older audience. The younger audience is spending so much less time. And it's like, even with, used to be, and I'm going to get technical real quick, and I'm not going to get too technical for the audience, but, there's a thing they call cum, like cumulative audience. It used to be where if you spent 5 minutes, you're considered part of a station's cumulative audience. They had to lower it to 3 because the kids aren't there like that anymore. They don't, whereas, you and I growing up, hell, if we heard, oh damn, I'm going to age myself. Another one, if we, I'm listening to everything. If I heard Bohemian Rhapsody on the radio, I'm gonna sit down and say, oh man, when they gonna play that again? For kids, if they hear something, they go to their Spotify, boom, add it to the playlist, and they ain't coming back. Because it's where they're discovering music. So my whole point is, it's like they're just not there. The younger people just aren't there as long as they used to be, and that impacts. So I don't know. I mean, I'll ask you, because you do the bird wire, and your audience is older, but still, you still have to consider what people might be listening to whenever stuff goes in and people vote, whatever people vote for.
Yeah, and I also have to be aware of what's happening outside of my sandbox. I don't concern myself with what's happening on the East Coast. I have to look at the global picture, and I'm getting some of the best music from other artists, especially across the pond in the UK. They have the appreciation for R&B music and the legends that no longer exist here.
Yeah, so I love you, and I think I said this to you before. Whenever American R&B was fledgling, was going down, you'd always have an infusion from the UK. UK could step in and right the ship. And I unfortunately, I think a lot of that doesn't happen anymore by design, maybe.
No, but you know what? These people, and like you
because you don't hear them on the radio.
But everybody is so caught up in trying to be like somebody else, they lose themselves. So, I mean, don't bank your career on trying to be like Tyler or Metro Boomin or whoever else, because there's only one of them. Stop trying to be like Beyonce. There's only one Beyonce. Yeah. Okay, and there was only one Aretha Franklin, and people there's only one. So stop trying to do that. Carve your own path. But creativity has changed. I think it lacks. Mm-hmm. But and the other thing is, for every person over here who discount R&B or even using, well, a lot of people use samples because of creativity. That part's gone too. But when you have artists like, I play like Lucas Seto, who's considered like the Prince of UK Soul, or this young man Sekou, who you and I talked about, who came over here with no airplay and sold out shows. So where are people finding people like Lucas Seto and Sekou, and say this new young lady from Ghana, Sarah Naya, and even Johnny Burgos, who studied the craft, and he's got a great, I sent you his stuff, Latin soul. They're doing the homework and putting in the time.
Well, I think it's TikTok, and you and I, I don't know if we've had the conversation about TikTok because, I think there was a conversation about why songs are shorter. You don't have these long versions.
They are shorter but these kids have a 2-second attention span too.
They want to squeeze them in TikTok. And candidly, they're savvy enough to go after the audience that they feel they need to cross or to get the attention of America. So I mean, you got to use what you got to get what you want, and if you got the talent, you got to know how to direct it on social media. It's tough. I mean, social media is not. That algorithm, you got to spend some money.
Not for the faint of heart.
They do it. It's not. It's absolutely not. So, but I do think, there's some good stuff out there. And it's going to be interesting, maybe with Keke involved in the voice now, about how much maybe she brings to the table to get people to pay attention to the new talent.
But she has a huge audience. Don't forget, she's got the podcast. Baby, it's Keke Palmer. And when you can get people like Whoopi Goldberg and Oprah to come on your podcast off rip, that's another thing she's doing. So I think The Voice is banking on Keke Palmer's fans and followers to at least come check out the show. Now, will they stay? That remains to be seen.
Yeah, so true. But, we'll see. We'll see.
They need something new.
You got anything else that we,
if you're looking for a good gift, there's a Whitney Houston Barbie doll out now. They had a Debbie Allen one. Now there's a Whitney one. And the look is from I Want to Dance with Somebody video. So, I know her estate probably had to approve it. But, that's better than a hologram concert.
So they're not going to do the bodyguard look?
That might come later. Maybe she, see, that's
the Queen of the Night. Was it?
Here's the thing. You got these dolls now, right? Whitney had different looks. Then you get the wigs. You get the bodyguard wig. You get the I Want to Dance with Somebody wig. You get the Saving All My Love for You wig. The I'm Every Woman. Just like anything else, the clothes are interchangeable. I'm telling you, the wigs are coming soon.
I got you.
Then you get different looks.
Okay.
And lastly,
go ahead.
I would say, and I hope this works. We know Roland Martin, who's been in the news for something other than professional behavior. But, he's got this network he's launching in September. It's called the Black Star Network. I hope it works.
But it's been on. I don't. Is he relaunching?
It's launching in September.
But what I'm saying is it's been on. It's been on, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish. I'm
It's
just
going to
curious.
be on Apple TV and Roku. So hopefully that'll give us some visibility. But I hope the standard is not Tubi. I hope it is Apple TV and even Roku. You have to take it up here, Roland. And, you know, if he does it right, because we no longer have BET, there's nothing black about it anymore. Maybe he can fill some of that void. We'll see.
Well, let me say, and I'm not getting into the craziness for Roland. I don't
No,
care.
no,
That's
about
between
that.
he and his personal his home. But I will say, you know, he has, even with the Nolan Wells stuff, he has been on top of it. And as quality goes, that's why when you mention this, I'm like, where you going? Because it's been on, because I subscribe to it and I get the emails, I get the e-blast and all that. But now you're talking about, if he's on the Apple platform, the Roku platform, it will be a bigger platform for him. But I do think, compared to some other networks that are doing it, he'll hold his own. I think but the thing is, the future money, if this will help him with future money being given, because he still survives based on subscriptions and people, paying into it. I think he does know how. I think sometimes, he gets sometimes he can get a little ridiculous, but they all do. Yeah, they all do. But I think it can work. It just depends, and I don't think when you say level, there's a lot worse in terms of production value.
Oh yes.
And even Tubi, the production values there, the stories aren't. It's not.
I mean, I've seen some things that look like they were made on a Fisher Price clothing plate. Don't die. No.
And I know. Look, we do a podcast every week. We're not perfect, but we hope that you just enjoy the content and overlook some of the.
And you know what? I want to find out. It says, I guess now whoever was behind this Black Star Network now is 100% African American owned. And I hope he has the right people in place.
Who's this? Oh, you mean
Roland?
Oh. Yeah, Roland still owns his stuff, from what I know. That's from what I know now, because nothing has been announced that he's sold part of it. But I will tell you, even they're going after, they're requesting, they're trying to buy out everybody.
Yep.
I mean, it's not just the big guys. If they like the platform you've built, some of these, what I call like private equity people, the ones who destroyed radio.
Yeah,
they are moving into I mean, they did, but they are looking at people with platforms, and regardless if they like your platform and see the value in it, they'll send you an offer. They're just trying to buy out as many people as they can, because they want to be there. They want to be in the space.
Right. Don't sell out. Please don't sell out.
When you're trying to keep the lights on.
I know. But I mean,
a lot of people, it's like, I'm just trying to keep my lights on, and ain't nobody subscribing.
But you know what? Let me say, I'd rather see your cousin Ben Crump with his show on Black Star Network to keep it afloat than for Roland Martin to sell out to somebody who has no interest in what the whole endeavor is about.
The offers are probably coming at him in a crazy way. I would not be surprised. I mean, they are. I mean, I know they're out there. The private equity people are looking to get in this space the same way they got into radio and gave them all the money. These companies got over leveraged and in debt, and private equity does what it does. They go in and raid you and strip you down, and the next thing you know, you're giving them the keys.
Yeah. So Roland, hold on to the keys to the house, Roland. Don't give them up. Please don't give them up.
You got anything else?
No, that's about.
Yeah, and that's cool. I got one last thing I do want to mention, and it's kind of tied. This episode we've been kind of music heavy. We haven't done this in a minute, but somebody I saw a blog where somebody was saying or asking people who they thought was the current Prince, like as in Prince Rogers Nelson.
Yes.
And the person who came up a couple of times was Anderson .Paak. And I said, maybe, but creativity-wise, I don't know if there can ever be another Prince.
No,
I don't know. I don't know if there can ever be another Michael.
No, I don't think so. There's not even another James Brown. Please, no.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can have the mannerisms and even Prince stole from Little Richard and James Brown.
Yeah.
You know, they all, I mean, Michael Jackson borrowed from, you know, James Brown and all of them.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Jackie Wilson, all the, you know, the greats from back in the day. Luther, you know, Sam Cooke, you know, everybody's inspired, but I don't think there are that many artists who can package it and make it their own. There aren't that many out there that I've seen. Now I like Bruno. I like what Bruno's doing because he's definitely you know, you can see his influence, folks who influenced him throughout his performances. Absolutely. But go ahead, you were about to say something. Go ahead.
I don't remember, but I can just say this, you know, and I looked at, I guess all you have was like Heir to the Throne with Usher and Chris Brown. This is $1 billion tour now. I'm happy for them. I don't think folks should not pay their rent to go see the show, but I think that's going to be one of the biggest. It's got to be like, if it's not in the top 5 or the top 3, it's one of the biggest tours of this year, hands down. And I'm happy for them. I really am.
I am too. I mean, the little nonsense about the girl not wanting to, you know, kiss Usher on stage or go in. Done. Because he was on. He was on. I mean, Usher was on the Today Show this, you know, as we taped this week. And he was talking about the Usher Foundation. They didn't even go into that. So I think just from a standpoint of visibility and future shows and getting attention, I agree with you.
That was a stunt.
You know, all publicity is good publicity.
Sometimes,
sometimes.
Probably last stunt was not good publicity. It just got his another a month big whoop added on to his jail sentence. But I love the way Nancy Grace goes after him. $5 for Nancy Grace.
Yeah, Nancy's hard. All right, y'all, make sure you check out the Bird Wire with Tonya B. We air the show. I know it's aired throughout the week on different radio stations across the country. We air the show on Velvet Frequency Radio every Sunday at 4 p.m. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, check out the Bird Wire at 4 p.m. It's a 2-hour show. Again, she gave you a list of some of the artists who are on it, some great artists, really. You know, most of them you haven't heard, but the music is great. Then right after the Bird Wire is what you're watching, the audio version of our most recent podcast. So every Sunday from 4 to 6, starting with the Bird Wire into This Is the G podcast, you can check us out. All right. And again, don't forget, go to Castropolis.net. Love to hear, especially going into fall. We're heading into a new season. Love to hear where you are with a lot of the things we talk about.
Yes.
Again, I haven't done a lot of politics. We're going to do something really as we get closer to midterms, because I'm interested in seeing how the whole Keisha and Slick Rick, how that's all going to play out.
That. Now, if Slick Rick owns the fake mark to his name, can he make that man stop using Slick Rick? Because that's Slick Rick.
No, I mean, but keep in mind, the Slick Rick now is not the name that Jackson is adapting. He's not adopting that. People are calling him Slick Rick because he's slick.
Right, I'm saying, but I want our legendary hip hop artist Slick Rick the Ruler.
But you know. I don't think. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I think it's funny. I think it's funny that they call him Slick. I mean, because they ain't calling him Slick Rick for Rick the Ruler. It's a different reason they calling him Slick Rick. So love your feedback, whatever you're doing. Tonya B, thank you so much.
Thank you.
As always, appreciate you. Yes, and it is the birthday month celebration. Yeah. So let's not forget that. Hit her up.
Me
Cash
and
App.
my mother.
Do like they do. Oh yeah, you and your mom, you and your mother. So I know toward the end of the month you're going to be off. We got some other programming.
You already
coming
know.
Out. Yeah. But enjoy your month. I know you're going to be on next week.
I'll be here next week. Then I'll be gone for a couple of weeks.
Right. Good stuff. All right, y'all. We'll be right back to wrap it up. Thank you again, Tonya B.
Fight the power. Check your voting status.
Thank you so much, Tonya B. Hey, y'all, don't forget the main destination for us right now is Spotify. And you can also find us on YouTube, Apple Podcast, and more. And very soon you can catch our video, the video version of the show on Apple Podcast. So wherever you watch this, wherever you listen, make sure you follow us. Plus, turn your notifications on for new episodes. Big thanks to Vi, Tonya B, Talib Shabazz, Hitman Howie, Harold Michael Harvey, Lady J, and Millennial Nick for the G Podcast theme. You can hear the aggressive cicadas where I am. As always, y'all, shout out to the text chain crew. Man, they're going off. Keep sharing the weekly episodes. We need you to do that every week. And with that, episode 323 is in the can, y'all. Have a great week. Peace. I can never get any peace because you can hear the cicadas. Peace and power to the people. Have a great week.
You've been listening to This is the G Podcast. And This is the G Podcast is a production of the Castropolis Podcast Network. Thanks for listening.